Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Elise and you're watching Melissa Elise TV. Outlander Season 3, Episode 8, First Wife almost left me speechless, especially the ending. But with the return to Lollybrook and the reunion with Jenny, all the truth that comes out, and 2 significant flashbacks, I got a few things to share with you guys in this week's First Reaction. This episode was great. I know that's a strong word to use, but I really feel in the scope of everything this season has been so far, this was my favorite episode. And here's why. Jamie, Claire, and young Ian return to Lollybrook, and Claire is reunited with Jenny. And Jenny poses a stark contrast to how everyone else has reacted to Claire's return. Instead of being overjoyed and super emotional, she's actually kind of cold and harsh towards Claire and Jamie. And she's every reason to be. She just found out that Jamie's been lying to her and Ian about young Ian's whereabouts. He's been teaching him how to become a bootlegger and mixing him up in the danger of his and now Claire's world. And he almost died in a fire. To top it all off, she is not buying the lies about where Claire's been the past 20 years. I love that Jenny acts as an agent for truth in this episode, even to the point of instigating the reveal of Jamie's second wife. That's the second thing I loved about this episode. The truth finally comes out. Jamie's no longer lying to Jenny and Ian, for the most part. They do decide not to tell Jenny the truth about Claire being a time traveler, which I almost think she would believe. I guess we may or may not ever know. Then, the dramatic reveal of Leary and her 2 kids who call Jamie daddy. This leads to an epic argument / fight between Jamie and Claire, in which they both get to dispel this idea that somehow they were happy in their lives apart. There's so many things I loved about this argument. Chiefly, that Jamie admits that his actions were cowardice. But they both get to acknowledge the pain that they experienced apart. Her marriage to Frank was not perfect, like Jamie might have imagined, and Jamie really never moves on to find any sort of happiness or fall in love like Claire might have thought he did. It doesn't excuse the lying, but I think now that everything's out in the open, they might finally be able to start building a life together. Finally, I really like the 2 flashbacks shown. We've seen a lot of what happened during their time apart, but the flashbacks really helped in filling in the missing pieces. The first one, in which Jamie takes us back to the island he escaped to from prison, not only worked as a time filler so that Leary and the kids could show up, but it showed how Jamie had lost hope that Claire might ever return. And then it becomes relevant at the end when they go back to the island for the treasure. The second flashback, where Jamie's at Lollybrook, shows us how lonely he was and how he met Leary again and why he chose to marry her. So guys, how would you rank this episode in the season so far? Comment below and don't forget to subscribe and share. I'll be back on Tuesday with a full review of this episode. Until then, you guys can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at Melissa Elise TV. Bye!